Okay, go. This is the story of Raven, the legend of Raven, and how the tides came to be. A long time ago, when the world was young, there was Raven, who was a Tlingit, and his clan. Now, his clan got their food from the great waters, or as we know them today, the sea. Now, there were no tides back then, so occasionally, when the ocean washed up clams, mussels, and other various sea life that the Tlingit could eat, that is what they ate. Now, over time, naturally, the small Tlingit clan became a large booming population. Since there was not a lot of food being washed up on the shores, soon there was not much to eat. Now, Raven, being the greedy fellow that he was, wanted more food than there was. So, one night he went to sleep, and in a dream came the great Earth Spirit, telling him that 4 days' flight from the Tlingit tribe, there is a cave at the edge of the world. Within that cave is a woman who holds the line of tides. And the Earth Spirit told him that if he could somehow get the old woman to drop the line of tides, then more food would be available for the Tlingit people and himself. Raven awoke the next morning and took the great Earth Spirit's advice. He then flew the 4 days' journey until he came across that cave on the edge of the planet Earth world and found the old woman sitting in there. Now, she was holding it very tightly, and he knew that he was not going to be able to get her to drop it very easily. He had to come up with a plan. He walked into the cave, rubbing his stomach, saying, those were very good clams. The old woman, intrigued, leaned forward slightly and said, "Where did you get the clams?" He repeated, those were good clams. She leaned forward again, asking more forcefully, "Where did you get the clams?" Again he said, "Those were good clams," and she finally leaned forward enough. He then kicked sand into her eyes. Instantly she dropped the line of tides and rubbed her eyes in order to get the sand out of them. This was what he'd been waiting for. Now, before the old woman could see who he was, he flew away the 4 days' flight back to the Tlingit people. Now there were great tides that washed up even more fish, more clams, more mussels, and all manner of sea life onto the beach. This provided the Tlingit people with as much food as they could possibly stomach. The problem was, since the tides were so drastic, they were washing up whales, dolphins, and other sea life onto the shore, which then grounded them, and they died and rotted away. Now, naturally, this is not a very good thing. And recognizing this, Raven knew he had to do something about it before all of their food rotted away and they would have nothing left to eat and be worse off than they were to begin with. He once again flew the 4 days to a cave at the end of the world. Instantly, the old woman began to yell at him, saying that he had tricked her and how awful he was for doing so, and how she couldn't get the line of tides back because she didn't have the strength. Raven then said, "If I agree to help you get the line of tides back, will you promise to do something?" The old woman thought and finally agreed. She asked, "What do you want me to do?" Raven then requested that she occasionally dip the line of tides instead of dropping it in order to provide more food to be washed up on shore for the Tlingit people. She agreed, and soon Raven and the old woman were wrestling with the line of tides, and finally he got it back into her lap. She thanked him and agreed once more to dip the tide line every now and then. Raven thanked him and returned back home. And that is the story of how tides came to the world.